continuing on with the build videos. On this one, I get into painting the interior bits on the truck, and then I go from there to installing the fuel pump and fuel filter setup that I have going on in the truck. So yeah, that's what I get into on this one. So let's get at it. Alright, so I'm going to be painting some interior parts for the truck. One of the main things I want to be painting is this center console shifter surround piece. I'm going to try to paint that to match the interior of the truck. And then I have these other pieces that are essentially the color of the truck. They're just faded. That's like the ashtray coin change thing. These aren't that bad, but they need to be painted. And then the door handle pieces. So I went through and I cleaned everything with a Scotch-Brite pad and this Sem soap stuff. It's basically like an abrasive cleaner. And then after that, I used some Preps All wax and grease remover, and then I'm going to hit it with this adhesion promoter, plastic adhesion promoter. I'm going to try that, and then I'm going to use this Rust-Oleum 2 times. Supposedly, this is one of the colors that people use to match the tan color. So I'm gonna give it a shot. If it doesn't work, then I will try the SEM color coat color that matches. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a try. Let's see how it works out. So I guess this is the before. Alright, so I just got done painting these, painting them earlier today, and this is what they look like. The color on the camera doesn't really do it justice. But I will give you a little comparison on this compared to the dash. So here is the dash, and here is the console. I mean, it's pretty close. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but for what it is, it's pretty close. I'm okay with it. Is the lower dash piece. So I'll see how it looks. If it doesn't look too good in the truck, I can always repaint it. Try the other product, the SEM color coat. I could try that one. But all in all, I'm happy with it for what it is. Like I said, once I get things together and see how it looks in the truck, I'll decide whether or not I want to keep it or not. But I'm okay with it. I think it looks decent. It's one of the close colors that you can, I guess, do on them. This is like $8 a can versus the other stuff is like $30 a can. So it's, like I said, it's not bad. The plastic looks probably closer to the actual dash color than this plastic, but I don't know. I'm okay with it. I guess give it a try for your color. I'm probably going to do the grill on the truck, repaint the grill, but I'm going to do that just black. So I'll probably either use the SEM stuff for that, or I'll just try the black color like this. So yeah. Alright, so now that I have these pieces painted, I can set these aside and work on everything else. I started out working on the fuel pump setup I'm going to be running, and I'll show you a photo here of what the fuel pump bracket used to look like. It was in a couple pieces. So I took that bracket, cleaned it up, sandblasted it, welded back on one of the brackets and reinforced some of the welds that were on it, and then I painted it, and that got me to this. Basically, essentially the same thing. I added a Mark III fuel filter to it. So this will essentially sit in the truck like this. This gets held on here, and then it sits on those 2 feet back here. And the wiring's in place. So the fuel goes into the pump, it'll come out, it'll go up to this, and then from here it'll go circle back around and then to the fuel lines that go to the front of the truck. So I kind of made that up just to get me going, I guess, as far as the fuel setup. So I'm kind of waiting for the rubber mounts with the studs, like those, like that one. I'm still using that one because that one's okay. The other 2 broke off when I tried to remove it from the truck years ago. So yeah, that's what I'm waiting for, to put the fuel setup on the truck, and then that will be ready. But yeah. Alright, so I aired the truck up to give myself a little bit of clearance. I pretty much have all the pieces now to finish the fuel setup. I'll show you what I got going on. Alright, so the fuel system, I've already ran the stainless lines under the truck into the bay, and my ports are where I want them to be, the return line and the supply line. The back of the truck, I ended up shortening them to where I needed them cut off at, and then I flared the ends like so, just so there's a little bubble on there. I used my brake flaring tool to do this, just so there's not like a straight fuel sleeve like this, and then I can push the hose on and then basically put a clamp on it, and then it's got something that's tighter. I read people doing this online, so I figured I would do it just to give it something to hold on to. Then the fuel setup, I fixed this. This was broken, and then I added a couple of welds to hold it in place and painted it. I have a new fuel pump on here, and then this piece I had, which was for the which went to the accumulator, I ended up cutting it off and then put like a nipple on it as well, which you can see. So then this is set up, new fuel pump, wired it back on. Mark III fuel filter, I added a bracket. I got this bracket, which is basically a setup from the dub shop, which would hold this setup. And then I just put a hose clamp on here temporarily. I may change this to something different, but this is what I have right now. This fits up into there under the truck, and it will be basically the fuel supply line comes in, and then it will go out from here to this filter, and then from here it will go out to the supply line to the truck. That's pretty much the most compact setup that I've come up with, and it sits in the factory location. These I had to cut off the stock ones because they were broke and basically welded in position, so I couldn't adjust them. So I ended up ordering some on Amazon. These are actually thicker than the stock ones were. This is what they look like. They're just isolators to hold the pump and whatnot. So I have two of these, and then one is the top one is the factory position. So this one's the factory one, and then I have the two aftermarket ones. So this is good to go. I have new fuel line to run to the tank and then the return, and I have some clamps which I'm going to use, which are like fuel round ones, and I couldn't find any bigger ones, so I'm going to use hose clamps for the bigger hose, but I may swap them out to better ones. But I want something on there just so it's on there. So I wanted to finish this before I got back into finishing the engine build. I'm kind of working on that. Basically the bearings and crank and all that are good to go in the block. I'm assembling pieces onto the block, but then I need to finish up all that stuff and then mount the head on, all that, and then I can throw the engine in the bay and then see how everything looks. I might do a shortened oil pan depending on how it sits. I think right now the oil pan is going to be holding me up, because right now I'm sitting on the control arms. That's like the lowest point I can go, and I'm not sure if the oil pan sits lower than the control arms or not. So that's kind of what I'm going to figure out. If the control arms are my lowest point and the oil pan is my lowest point, then I'm not going to go any lower than that. So that's where I'm going to sit. I'd like to go lower if possible. That might be stage 2 of the build, but I'm trying to get this done, the whole truck done, running, ready to go by April, end of April for mini nats. So that's my goal. I've already submitted my truck and it's been accepted, so the push is on to get the truck going and on the road. So let's get to throwing this in and finish up the fuel system. Also, I don't know if you can see it, I have female, and then I have a male female, and then I have a male to male adapter, which will go to fittings like that, which will go to the fuel pressure regulator and then to the ITBs. So I added those also. Those weren't on here, I just put those on today. Alright, so here's it's kind of pre-assembled. This needs to like shift up, but from the tank into the fuel pump, out of the fuel pump into the fuel filter, out of the fuel filter this will go to the supply line, and then this goes to the tank, and then I'll need to connect a return line to the tank, which I have there. So I'm going to mount the camera underneath and then get to putting this in. good to go. Alright, so that is done. Now I can continue on to other things. Yeah, hopefully get back into working on the engine now. So that is one more step done on the build, and now I can get into doing another video on the truck. I'll probably get into, I'll have to see the order that I film stuff and see which one I do next, whether or not I do the engine build or yeah, it'll probably be engine stuff, but I don't know. I'll see where the footage lies on how I saved things, and go either with the video on the engine stuff or the air ride or more of the interior stuff. So anywho, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Trying to knock these videos out just so I can get caught up and post other stuff that I'm trying to work on. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.